espionage, thrillerness, and overall butt-kicking superhero-ness. We've literally just seen Captain America the Winter Soldier, so you know what that means.
It's That Other Review Show, brought to you by Two Black Labs Audio and A Week in Geekdom.
Welcome back, folks, to another epic installment of That Other Review Show. I am your host, Giovanni Menendez, and by we, our co-host couldn't be here for the review, but we've literally, not a couple hours before recording this, we've just witnessed Captain America the Winter Soldier, and I know a bunch of you guys have already seen it. You've already read the reviews, you've already Googled and Wikied and just searched all around the internet for info about this amazing film. So, we wanted to share our opinion about it, and we're going to do so in this installment. Going into this movie, way back in 2013, I told my crew of A Week in Geekdom, my prediction was that while, yes, Iron Man 3 was pretty good, Thor 2 was actually even better. I thought that just by the way it was sounding from the get-go, when they mentioned this was going to be like your thriller, action-packed superhero movie, I told myself this is probably going to be the best movie in Phase 2. Of course, we have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy, but based on what we've seen with all the heroes that we know and love, yeah, hands down, to me, Avengers and The Winter Soldier are hands down the single best Marvel Studios movie ever. This movie had everything, from the intrigue, to the action, to the characters, to the endless plot twist one after the other. That was actually pretty cool. It was filled with character references to just great Easter eggs, and of course, the traditional post or mid and post credit scenes. Now, The Winter Soldier, adapting, of course, one of the greatest modern Cap stories, in my opinion. Sebastian Stan did an amazing job as the character. Same with Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Samuel L. Jackson, and everybody else just brought their A game. This was single-handedly Marvel's finest effort in their cinematic universe. And yes, for once, unlike comic book events, this movie alters everything post-Avengers. It will not be the same. Just the idea of it. And by the way, if you've not seen the movie, what are you doing watching this? Just stop. Go ahead, watch it, and then come back and see us here at A Week in Geekdom. So yeah, The Winter Soldier changed things dramatically for the Marvel landscape. Not just because S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically going through its biggest moment in its movie history, but just the fact that the movie was able to just keep building, but at the same time solidify everything that you've known throughout the whole cinematic universe with all the Phase 1 movies. And literally, Captain America continues to be the foundation for everything. From the first one to this second installment, the threads just kept spinning and interweaving each other in a really fun and nerdy way. I remember right at the movie theater, so many Easter eggs that we were just like in awe of the way it was crafted. Who would have thunk it? And this is spoilers for you guys. If you've not seen the movie, go ahead, watch it, and come back. For some reason, I was not expecting the Hydra thread to be over. And now, after, in hindsight, you're going to tell me, oh, well, you didn't see that coming. But no, I mean, it's movies. Unlike comic books, they only have a specific runtime, whereas comic books, I can keep going with a storyline for as long as I like, But in the movie universe, yeah, I thought the threat was over. I thought that maybe Hydra and stuff like AIM and all these things would be afterthoughts, something for a later future. But yeah, to have it just basically be in it so furiously, so brazen. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I dug all the character interactions. I thought this was Chris Evans' finest performance. Cap looked better than ever. The fight scenes were amazing. I specifically, other than the Winter Soldier moments, my favorite fight would have to be at the beginning against Badrock the Leaper. My God, who would have thunk it? Badrock the Leaper made it to cinema before I could even see the Justice League or Barry Allen or Jon Stewart or all these characters on film. So that's something to chew on, I guess. But yeah, Badrock versus Cap, that was an amazing fight. Much better than the Badrock I'm used to seeing in comic books. Much better. One crazy theory that I had throughout the whole film, and I know it was a little far-fetched, but whatever. I kept thinking, it'd be awesome that to see like some hints that about Red Skull somewhere, but I'm guessing he practically gone by now, folks. So yeah, I thought the inclusion of the Strike Team and Alexander Pierce just being its leader, this segmented unit within Hydra, taking control of S.H.I.E.L.D. from within, I thought that was actually pretty badass, and then just brought so many memories of those S.H.I.E.L.D. versus Hydra battles and comic book storylines that we all know and love. One of the other aspects that I thought was amazing, Falcon. I mean, who would have thunk it? Compared to his comic book counterpart, I was just blown away that to me he was my favorite character in this movie out of all the new ones, because I love Cap, but man, to me Falcon stole the show. I loved the scenes, and like the whole Falcon suit was amazing. One of the other things that I really liked about the movie was the inclusion of Arnim Zola. I thought I would not be seeing Arnim again, but to see him in that fashion and so close, like a little nod to his comic book counterpart, again, I thought was pretty ingenious, and just the richness to which they dedicated a whole section of the movie to just explain, how villainous and how wrong Hydra really is. I thought that was fantastic. And of course, you're going to make some comparisons between now, post 9/11 world, with the whole NSA and just, government agencies and just the whole idea of Big Brother watching you all the time. I thought that was adequate. Unlike some other reviewers out there, and I really don't care for his name at all, but I remember some Yahoo review that was saying, it's a silly movie with exploring themes in a very superficial manner. Seriously, what exactly were you expecting? This is an all ages, well, not all ages, but this is a fairly well-rounded movie that I think everybody should watch and enjoy. It had the action, the intrigue, the spy element, the thriller. Of course, Winter Soldier had an amazing part in it. It was the Terminator from hell, man. I just loved seeing such a evil assassin just working his way throughout the whole movie. Every scene just captivated me. From a filming standpoint, I thought it was pretty badass, especially that bridge fight. That was awesome. I think it's the first Marvel movie that the fight scenes were so well choreographed compared to the others. And I know Avengers did an amazing job at it. Same with Iron Man and Thor. But to me, this felt like the most action-packed. Like everything was at stake. And you saw that at the end. You saw that everybody we basically saw the dismantling of S.H.I.E.L.D. And of course, that carried out with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Uprising mini event that's going on. Actually, as I'm recording this. But yeah, we saw the dismantling, and I gotta say, the future looks pretty bright in terms for us, For them, not so much, because the Marvel Universe pretty much sucks. You never wanted to live there. There were a couple scenes in the movie where, of course, there's the obligatory, oh my god, what's going to happen? But at the end, you're like, oh, I knew. I mean, this actor or that actor has many movies left in their contract, so I wasn't really that worried about it. But from a storytelling point of view, I thought it was pretty intense, especially with Nick Fury and later on with Cap and all these characters. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more about the World Council, just a tiny bit more on how they run things and such. But I think we had more than sufficient running time to show what needed to be seen. So yeah, I figured now with Shield disbanded, I can't help but wonder that basically since Hydra is still active, as they should be, since they're active, that sort of explains the because I remember Iron Man 3 and Thor, people were like, stuff is getting blown up, and there's a crazy elf overlord invading London, and Shield isn't showing up. So I'm guessing this can explain why they wouldn't show up, because they're busy taking over the world via government agencies on Washington. To me, that was the perfect way to tie everything together in a nice little bow. So where do we go now after seeing this movie? Well, anything's possible, folks. I do think they should at least explore the possibility that not just Hydra, but other agencies like AIM, the Advanced Idea Mechanics, could be involved or heavily involved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think they should be a threat as well. But going into Avengers and knowing that the Winter Soldier or Bucky or Sebastian Stan, however you want to go about it, the actor has signed on for, I think, counting this movie, for 8 more flicks. That's a whole lot of Bucky. So I'm thinking, could there be room for a Bucky Cap? I think yes. Well, our co-host, Brian Perez, also thinks yes. I think it's a perfect way to continue on the Marvel movies, because you recently read the news that they already had like a board planned for all the movies up to 2028. That's just insane. And let's face it, not all the actors are going to keep going. Eventually, you're going to have to reboot, recast, or do something, because they can't go on forever. So, what a perfect way for Chris Evans to end his run with the next 2 flicks, Avengers and Cap 3. And then I don't want to insinuate that Cap won't live, but if he bit the bullet and Bucky continued on the legacy, I wouldn't mind one bit. I'd actually think that's pretty cool. However, I think the problem would be with Iron Man and other characters like Hulk and stuff, Well, I guess, Hulk can be CGI'd like they do in the animated movies and the cartoon series and stuff. By the way, the one thing I kept missing throughout the whole thing, I really wanted to see Hawkeye in this. I mean, if you think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., other than the TV show, you immediately think, well, Black Widow and Hawkeye. Those are the 2 famous S.H.I.E.L.D. agents other than Maria Hill and Nick Fury. So, yeah, I was missing him. Hopefully he was involved elsewhere with something epic. We'll just have to see. But yeah, speaking of agents, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, I would have appreciated something to do with that show being at least mentioned in the movie. But no, it's going to be the other way around. The movie is going to be heavily referenced in the upcoming episodes, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, folks, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Do I recommend this movie? Holy crap, do I recommend it. Yes, it is Marvel's finest effort in their movie-making history. It is action-packed, it is epic, it is badass. Falcon, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, all these characters were amazing. Cap had stellar fight scenes, and just the overall fun of exploring the Marvel Universe in a political side was just spectacular. I loved seeing Hydra again. But yes, Winter Soldier, I highly recommend it. It's 5 or 10 out of whatever. Other shows, they do like star things and points. That's them. This is us. This is that other review show, part of A Week in Geekdom. So yes, folks, go watch it and you'll thank us later. If you want to join in the discussion, you can type below. You can subscribe to our videos. You can follow us on just about everything. Facebook, Twitter, Vine, Instagram, Tumblr, Blogspot, what else? Everything. Just type A Week in Geekdom and I guarantee that we will be there. It's that easy. It's been another epic installment of That Other Review Show. We wanted to keep it brief, keep it concise, but mostly fun and just sharing our opinions on it. We will be continuing our Winter Soldier discussion when we do another installment of our main series. That's A Week in Geekdom. And of course, we'll be seeing you over there for more awesomeness. So, I've been your host, Giovanni Menendez, and thank you for watching another That Other Review Show. If you've got stuff that you want us to review, stuff that we can get our hands on, please do so. Inform us. We've already got a schedule coming up, but we can make room for that. We're reviewing different series, different comic books, all that stuff. Right now, our next installment should be an anime series, or it could be something else. But yes, next episode of That Other Review Show will probably be talking about some anime that we know and love. So, yeah, for one final time, I've been your host, Giovanni Menendez, and I will see all of you at a later time.
Remember to subscribe, or you can like and follow us on social media, or just follow us on our main website. That's aweekingeekdom.com.
The mid-credits scene, directed by Joss Whedon himself, we finally got our first glimpse of not only Von Strucker, but the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver as well. That was pretty awesome. So I am more than ready to wait for the awesomeness and see Avengers 2 Age of Ultron next year. That's going to be fantastic. I love it. It's just epic.